The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
We have a couple of riskier value stocks to take a peek at with our value strategist, Tracy Reinick, who joins me now. Riskier, why? Because they're foreign companies?
That's part of it. And then they're also in sectors that have, been beaten down or something is going on in them. The first one I brought is Horizon Pharmaceuticals, and they're a biotech, and the biotech sector in general has just been decimated over the last couple of months. Some of that is because everything's being lumped in with Valiant and Valiant's problems and the drug pricing and worries that it's going to be regulated, and a lot of these companies will, see a decline in earnings and there's shenanigans going on, whatever it is.
Right.
None of that has been happening with Horizon. There's no Citron or Muddy Waters report about Horizon. So far, they seem to be in the clear, but investors don't care. They've been selling off the stock, and it's gotten dirt cheap. It's now trading around 5 times earnings.
Wow.
So, you have to be able to take a look at something like this when you see a mid-cap stock trading like that cheaply. It's been super volatile, but again, I'm putting up the earnings estimates here. The analysts all like what they're hearing, and the estimates have been rising. So we have the good Zacks rank going on because nothing fundamentally is wrong with this company. They are based in Ireland. They used to be in the U.S. and they went over there for tax purposes. So a lot of their operations are still in the United States, but they are an Irish company now. You can see I put up the chart. Shares just totally crushed down starting last year, really, when Mrs. Clinton said her comment about the drug regulations and all of that. A lot of these stocks traded off, and then it's gotten worse. And every Valiant news, these stocks have really sold off, and they continue to, even as this market has rallied. So yeah, it's a real good buying opportunity for someone looking in the biotech sector for a company like Horizon.
All right, if you're looking in the banking sector, there's Bank Colombia, which is a large commercial bank in Colombia.
Right, ticker is CIB for them. And I really like the foreign banks right here. You do have to know kind of what's going on in the country that you're putting your money in there. But Colombia has been on the upswing. They did grow over 3% last year. They've been kind of a success story down there in Central America. They're getting their political issues under control. They don't have Venezuela's issues, so that's one of their neighbors. And their middle class is really growing. So of course, banking would be a big part of that. So this is their second or one of their largest banks, I think, and they've been doing well on the commercial loans. Some of the analysts are a little concerned about loan quality. They do have a big energy sector. They've put out loans for energy and the commodities. That's taken a hit. But, I think their reserve ratio is pretty good, and they have, the rest of their earnings have been doing pretty well. You can see the estimates are starting to rise. We had one rise just in the last week, and that's, we get the good Zacks rank with that. With banks, you also want to look at return on equity. This is double digits for Bank Colombia, so that's another good fundamental that you look for with banks. Shares for this one, just like Horizon, have completely, tanked. Some of that is worries about inflation that's going on in Colombia now. They've had to raise their interest rates numerous times to combat any kind of inflation going there. And also, the decline of the Colombian pesos has hit a lot of their trade and things like that. But I feel like you're getting a real good value here. With this big sell-off, you get a bank, you get a dividend.
Big dividend alert, 3.4.
Yep, 3.4%.
Yep.
And if you're betting on Colombia for the future, the banking sector is one area where you can tap into that. Now, this stock is actually also in the Colombian ETF, so I brought that chart.
Okay.
That ticker is GXG. That's been decimated too. This stock is actually the #1 holding in there. So if you're thinking, I like the Colombia play, but I don't want to just be in one stock over there. This is another way to get into Colombia. You're still going to own, it owns 14% of this ETF is in the bank, so you'll still own that. You'll also own some energy companies and some of their other stuff, and you can tap into all of that and spread the risk a little bit more. But you can see this chart actually tracks almost perfectly the bank chart because it is the #1 holding. I do feel like this is a deal here too, even though it's bounced off the lows. So I like Columbia right now.
Okay. Own either of these?
I do not.
All right. Check out more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. If you're not there already, get on over. You can link to it all right off the homepage. With Tracy, I'm Terry Ruffalo.